Hi, my name is John Petty from BiSaddle, and I want to thank you for purchasing the revolutionary BiSaddle DaVinci. It's one of a kind. There's nothing like it. It uses what we call modular architecture, which means that every part of this saddle is rebuildable, replaceable, and customizable. What does all that mean? That means that you are going to be able to adjust this saddle to fit you, your unique anatomy, your unique physiology. Even if you have asymmetry, you're going to be able to adjust this saddle to fit you. BiSaddle is the last saddle you'll ever buy because a single BiSaddle can be configured to replace literally thousands of different saddle shapes, styles, and designs. And with every part being replaceable and rebuildable, you'll never have to buy another saddle again. That architecture starts with the chassis, which is the lower component. This is the part that mounts to the seat post. You then have different surfaces like this that mount to the top, and they come in different thicknesses and firmnesses for maximum adjustability. And what makes this very unique is that these are very, very quick and easy to mount to a chassis. So this makes it really nice if you want to swap out different thicknesses of foam. Its features: 6-way adjustable through a split saddle design. You can adjust the rear, you can adjust the front. The other thing that's critical for comfort and fit is flatness. We have wedges that go in so you can adjust the flatness of the saddle. Another very critical thing is the firmness of the padding. We have modular padding that can go on, and you can go from thin, thick, medium, firm, and all different types of padding to get that dialed in perfectly for you so that you experience ultimate comfort. Now, you may have noticed that the BiSaddle DaVinci is a little smaller than most saddles, and I have guys say, hey, there's no way that little thing is going to fit my big butt. That is not the case. The DaVinci is designed for the exact right surface area to support your body weight through the sit bones. That's where you're supposed to sit. And what that does is that eliminates all the pressure off your soft tissue areas. And what does that mean? That means that you're not going to have that pain, numbness, and discomfort that come from long rides with the nose of that saddle pressing up on nerves, arteries, and causing you all kinds of pain. Now, that discomfort is not just for men, it's for men and women alike. And the BiSaddle DaVinci is an amazing solution for that. Because the BiSaddle DaVinci is shorter, the setup is going to be a little bit different for the front to back positioning in the seat post mount. Since it is shorter, you cannot use the measurements that come from an existing bike fit where they measure to the front of the saddle. Since this is missing several inches of what would be on a traditional saddle, you need to be careful and use the sweet spot on the sit bones for your measurement. If you adjust the saddle too far forward, your sit bones are going to be back here, and it is going to be an uncomfortable ride. So your first step is to get the saddle adjusted within the seat post, front to back. After you get that done, you're going to need to adjust the seat post height. This will be a little bit different height because of its modular chassis design, so you may need to lower the seat a little bit to match the height of your traditional seat. There's another critical thing, and that is going to be the angle of the saddle. So the angle is going to be somewhat dependent on your position that you ride. If you're upright in a more vertical position, or if you're down on the bars in the drops, or you're riding a tri-bike and you're on your tri-bars, that's going to tilt your pelvis down. And in any of those cases where you've got a more aggressive riding position, you're going to want to tilt this front down between 1/2 degree and 1.5 degrees down. Now you'll know if you've gone too far and that you'll feel a lot of pressure on your arms, and you don't want that kind of pressure. If you ride in a more upright position, that angle downward is not going to be as critical. You can start with a position that is basically horizontal or parallel to the ground. That is a great place to start. One quick tip for adjusting the tilt angle on the saddle. There are some very cool level apps for the iPhone and the Android, and you can actually take that and slide it right in here on the chassis and use that to really dial in your tilt. You'll be able to measure that 0 degree to ½ degree to 1½ degrees tilt. The next step you're going to do is adjust the width of the saddle. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to start in the back. Now the saddle comes in its narrowest position. It uses titanium adjuster screws to secure and lock the width adjustment. So you are going to loosen these titanium screws. You can use a 2mm Allen wrench. They'll go right in the side and you can loosen them. Now, before you do anything, before you adjust the width, write it just like it is. And then if it is not comfortable, first start with the back. Now remember that very, very small changes can make a big difference in comfort. Even a 1/16 of an inch can make a difference between comfort and discomfort. So take small increments with your changes. Start in the back and move the back out till you get a comfortable sit bone width. And then work on the front. The front is going to be critical for soft tissue comfort. Men will usually like a little more spacing in the front than women. So start in the back, get the sit bone width adjusted, then go to the front. You've got your BiSaddle DaVinci mounted in the seat post, and you've determined the proper front to rear spacing. You've tilted the saddle either horizontal or slightly down depending on your riding position, and you've begun adjusting the width. You've started in the back, adjusted for the sit bones, and you've adjusted the front for comfort. Now keep in mind that it's going to take 50 to 100 miles for you to really determine all the little fine-tuning adjustments. Remember that your body may not be symmetrical, so not all of your adjustments are going to be equal on both sides. Make small little adjustments, retighten your titanium adjusters, bring one with you on a ride and tweak as you go. But give it 50 to 100 miles and take your time. It's worth it, because once you get that thing dialed in, you're going to have a perfect, comfortable ride. There is a slight learning curve for riding the DaVinci if you are riding a road bike and adjusting for different hand positions from the tops to the drops, tri-bars. Whenever you do that, your pelvis is rotating back and forth, and that is going to have some differences in comfort and how you ride. Now this is a pelvis that is very typically sized really to the average person. Now, I just want to show you very briefly what's going on when you change your hand positions. So when you're riding in a pretty upright position, you can kind of see what's going on. The saddle is completely designed to register your sit bones, meaning you're going to feel a little sweet spot in the saddle where your sit bones go. Now as you tilt down and tilt forward, you're more forward on the saddle. In order to get that sweet spot in the sit bones, you're going to have to scoot back a half an inch or so, 3/4 of an inch, just until you feel those sit bones register. You feel that sweet spot. Now, if you just sit up from there, you can see that your sit bones are going to be too far back, and that will be uncomfortable. And so you'll just scoot just a little bit forward, and you'll feel your sit bones register. So that is just one little thing you need to get used to have maximum comfort whenever you're changing your hand positions and your pelvis rotates. You're going to have slight little variations in how you sit on the saddle in order to achieve that maximum comfort. We know it's going to take you a little while to get used to riding the new BiSaddle DaVinci. That's why we give you 60 days to try it out. If you can't get it comfortable, you can return it. We'd ask that you communicate with us, tell us what's going on, because we really want to build the perfect saddle. And if you're not happy, you might just have the answer to something that we can build that will benefit all the different types of cyclists that are out there. So please communicate with us. Let us know what's going on, and we'll do all we can to make this saddle work perfectly for you. If you'd like to read some of the amazing BiSaddle stories and reviews, go to BiSaddle.com and click on BiSaddle Stories. You'll be amazed at the life-changing transformations that have occurred from a simple saddle. And we want your story too. Check it out, keep in touch, and good luck.